come down for TL, so returning to their Game 1 red side bans.
Varus surely should be the pick here for FlyQuest. I think the one problem they've been having is at least their bot lane has been underperforming or getting challenged. In the first game, it was the level 1 that put them behind, and in game 2, like, Yeon has been basically, Yeon and CoreJJ running a truck on them, so hopefully they'd want to pick up the strongest bot lane available. So it looks like it's going to be the Nautilus pick, but Varus, to me, came to mind with just generally how strong he is, how flexible he is. If the team comp is pretty tanky, then he can go to the Blade of the Rune King build, otherwise he can go poke build, and it's a good takeaway from Yeon, but looks like that might be the pickup from Team Liquid side.
Yeah, I just want to call out some of the performances we've seen so far in the series, though, as we're moving into Game 3. I'd say Yeon has performed at such a high level. APA has been okay. I think Jensen's actually played quite well to get a huge amount of gold, but has had some key team fight, like positioning errors that have made these games really interesting. And yeah, as we can see, FlyQuest opted to deny CoreJJ's Nautilus more than they did the Varus, which has been such a big pick this series.
Yeah, and I mean, those team fights in the top side of the map definitely was started by the Nautilus that really made Massu's life harder. So sure, being able to hit the backline is going to be difficult, but if you end up locking in this Kalista, Rell is going to be equally as hard to deal with. And the Varus ulti has been pinning them in game 1, even after that win. So I still think it's going to be really hard for FlyQuest carries to deal with the front line. So let's take a look at what they end up locking in for the rest of this.
Yeah, and I feel like that Kalista is a little bit of comfort for Massu as well. I'd say even just within this spring split, there's been a lot of games where he falls behind on Kalista, but then ends up still having a really good mid and late game. So I think FlyQuest has this as a little bit of a comfort and weirdly like an insurance pick since Massu's just so good at late game Kalista.
And
two mid lane picks that I really love. You go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as we see the Neeko locked in, this is interesting. So I was wondering if they were just gonna slam Ziggs again, right? And that was the first rotation they went with in the last game. APA was drawing a lot of attention on that pick. So it's interesting to see the pivot over towards Neeko, if only because I thought Ziggs, specifically as a champion, was what allowed them to have a lot of side lane pressure just due to his kit and leaving him alone with a tower being so dangerous.
True. But APA's strongest pick, honestly, has been Neeko when he's outside of his usual pool, right? People will remember last year going into Worlds, APA's Neeko is really what set them ahead in a lot of their questionable team fights. So, like, I think that's a great pick for him. I was looking at Jensen's Ahri because that is definitely a new look for him this year. And usually with Ahri picks, you want to play a little bit more towards mid lane to unlock Ahri and have her move. But at least if there is a timing, Jensen already showed a propensity to do that in game 1 on his Talia pick. So still, it's worthwhile, pretty mobile to at least work alongside Inspired and getting some of the side lanes ahead.
TL with the Olaf and Jace bans, I think, are trying to set up a Renekton pick on 4. We'll see if FlyQuest ends up banning that now or if Bwipo's fine going up against it. It's really interesting playing against Bwipo. This is something we were talking with Fudge about as he was here. He's like, it's just so annoying going up against Bwipo in the 4-5 because literally anything can happen. His champion pool is so big, and it's like basically every single draft that they enter into, Bwipo will be picking as late as possible.
Yeah. And a good challenge in game 1 was the fact that, FlyQuest chose blue side, even though usually they benefited from 5-pick Bwipo. But it's like, they can just lock in a Renekton, and there wasn't really a good response from Team Liquid side. So he doesn't need the counter pick if he realizes that Impact is not going to make the best use of it.
I'm very surprised here. There's that many top lane bans and then not a blind pick top laner.
Yeah, I am kind of surprised too. They must really honestly be that scared of whatever Bwipo would be able to pull out. The Zhao coming in for TL, I think this pick has kind of been, until playoffs, a little bit underutilized in the LCS in terms of seeing it elsewhere. Bwipo, I feel like he's super comfortable just locking in this Renekton again.
Could just be another Sejuani game, and we're back to the same situation we were in game 1. And you have to believe Team Liquid have a better takeaway. If they go for an Aatrox pick, then it may just be as simple as looking back at the kind of conversation we had with Fudge, where it's like, okay, you just don't take the bad trade anymore. And you just pick the same, you just lock in the same idea.
Jarvan did get minorly buffed, and there are a mid laner and an AD carry that don't have an inherent dash. So Jarvan is an okay pick here. You can also pile in with the Nautilus Kalista for CC chaining. I don't hate the Jarvan, actually, for Inspired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see where Inspired will go to, because it feels like he has plays in both mid and top where he wants to go.
That's the change.
The Rumble locked in for Impact. Okay, so that's what they changed, yeah, with their 5 dropping the Aatrox and bringing in the Rumble.
Because I was like, surely we're not walking into the same state in the top lane. But it looks like we've got Rumble, double AP from Team Liquid side. So I like the draft quite a bit from TL. It makes sense to me, especially if Jarvan ulti does come through. At least you have a way to fight within that ulti with both Neeko and Rumble.
Absolutely. So, big draft in Game 3. Casters, take it away.
Muchas gracias, chat. We're getting ready for Game 3, and on the back end of another stellar performance from Yeon, Inspired says, enough is enough. I have the Cataclysm ready to put him down.
Yep, gonna be going for that Varus again. And we are -1 Fudge on the cast, but we're +1 Kobe.
Nice, yeah.
So it's a good trade.
Fudge did a half day today. He's out. He's got better things to do.
He's got to prep for his next matches. Go home. He came in, did his research on the teams. He's like, okay.
Yep. I've seen all I need to see.
Downloaded.
Got him downloaded. I'm once again really excited for the top lane matchup, though. Too bad we did lose Fudge for the day, because we're gonna get Rumble with Ignite on top side, and you've got some volatile junglers ready to come to a volatile lane. You gotta expect they are gonna go hard up there in the top side. Jarvan is always fun too, because you can do your level 2, people call them cheese ganks. I call them intelligent ganks.
Smart pathing.
Yeah, exactly. Probably not going to be the case this time around, but definitely going to track the pathing here. Inspired especially is not one that unnecessarily skips camps.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a bit more efficient.
Yeah, the big contrast when we look at like Inspired's Jarvan versus someone like River's Jarvan, who really amps up the creativity of where he wants to go on the map. Inspired wants to be efficient, and even when we had him on that pros episode where he's talking about like, who do you consider the best junglers in the league? Like, do you think River's up there? He's like, I don't know why everyone's just dying to these cheese ganks from River all the time. It just doesn't make sense to me. I actually think and put a lot more respect on Umti, who has some really good pathing in the early game.
Yeah, it's always funny to hear junglers talk about other junglers, because I feel like if one gets off way more ganks that are successful, then you always call them cheese ganks. You're like, this guy's flipping. This guy's so risky.
And he's getting rewarded.
That's such an obvious gank. What are my laners doing?
Yeah,
Come on, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I pinged this guy. Why are you dying? Look at this, though, because I love this. I actually want to look at the other side. Yeah, there you go. The defense for all of the top laners that have started to come in and harass jungles. It has become a super prominent strategy. Just took over the Korean server first, and then everybody started doing it. All of these really strong top laners come invade if any junglers start on the top side. And then the next iteration are these counters for it to try and protect your jungler against it. So we see another protection there. Both junglers starting top side, both junglers unharassed.
It's a minor thing, but I actually like that Inspired didn't show on the initial trade because he realized Impact wasn't going to be far enough in to do anything. And he didn't need help to actually kill the ward since Renekton levels W.
Yeah.
But had Impact immediately then backed off, they wouldn't have actually had information that Inspired was starting top side. So I did think it was a smart thing. He ended up having to reveal himself anyway because Impact hang around. But I like those little things where it's like, hey, you can see what the thought process was, and it could have gotten them a reward for really no cost.
Never give away unnecessary information. #1 rule of jungling.
Yep.
Both of them will, of course, start from the top side, though. And bottom lane has evolved into a banger, especially with how well Yeon has been performing. Now both sides have taken the engaged support, melee supports down here. CoreJJ is so good at all of these melee matchups.
Inspired looking to get spicy, but Umti's here too.
Yeah, reads it. Meanwhile, top side of the map, first blood for Impact.
Actually roasted.
And
Rumble with the true fire. I mean, Rumble was banned against him before. Now we're seeing why. That was a solo bolo, and Bwipo still had flash. Wasn't paying attention to the very beginning of it.
Yeah.
But I did see the end of it.
I mean, it's Impact level 3 versus level 2, so I don't know if he just got the level up. And now Bwipo trading into him again. You do not want to fight an overheated Rumble, but it's a good trade back.
Trying to clip him. Still has flash available from both top laners.
He has flash.
Impact is able to get in his head and wait until the very last frame.
I love it because he knows when I turn around to shoot this harpoon, that's going to bait in the flash, and he immediately flashed. There was no, oh, I'm harpooning and I'm waiting to see if he flashes. It's instant.
APA's here, though. They're going to look for this, potentially, see if Bwipo does go forward on Impact. You can see Impact's like playing a little bit dumb. He's like, I got to get this caster minion. Going to step up. At the very least, APA will help him reset the wave. It's no TP on Impact, so you do need help pushing out these waves, absolutely. But Inspired is here as well, and they can actually look to fight this.
Good ward from APA is going to show Inspired on top of that bush.
And now there's a TP top as well from Jensen.
Moly.
There's 3 top. They're trying to hard hold this freeze. Bwipo is telling them, if he can't reset, he's
Jensen.
screwed.
Yeah, flash committed from Inspired because they know that Impact doesn't have his own flash. It's a kill for Jensen.
Oh, there are so many good mind games here. And then how Team Liquid chase here because they didn't see Jensen immediately. Now it's going to be a follow-up as well. Little clone in the brush there, but that was so nicely done.
Yeah, this was really, really smart. You know, fully committing to actually stopping him from crashing the wave. Now, of course, Impact will just go mid as APA holds top, and we're going to have this kind of weird situation where the players do briefly lane swap, and then very likely as they push it out, they will come back. But this is the earlier play. Is it a level up to 3 and then just the initial all-in? No, he just steps up, and Bwipo was just already really low. That's just a freebie. Bwipo just gave it to him. That was not a good death from Bwipo whatsoever.
And that was before the Ignite came out, so I wonder if there was like an earlier trade. The Ignited got the health advantage and then just came in for the finish.
Yeah, that definitely looks like it.
They lane swapped as well. So both Renekton and Rumble go mid afterwards. And Umti ping-ponging back up to this side means he can do Gromp, and they should have control of the grubs because of the recall there. Jensen goes for first item Merc Treads, playing against the Neeko, scared about that lockdown.
And that's the first time that Team Liquid has had control of the Void Grubs in this series for the first rotation.
Good
Flash
flash.
is expended by pretty much everyone in this bot set.
That was really fast from Yeon, though. If he got passive rooted there, he probably would have been dead, and Bwipo may just be dead here.
Yeah, no flash on this Crocodile, and he's getting turned into a belt. Umti picks up the kill.
Wow, this topside control for Team Liquid. Umti, after finishing up on that Gromp, rotates over, and they catch the no-flash Renekton. The variability here of the lane swap and pushing back, they don't keep it in mind.
Look at Inspired, though. He's going to be able to see this, so Yeon should be able to back it off. No, the recall finishes, so he's going to be okay. But Inspired was looking to see if he could find something there, but they're going to lose 3 grubs and a kill on top side for just the summoners that they force. So if they can't get a return play onto Yeon and really slam that home, then they end up falling pretty far behind off that play.
And they don't have enough time to burn down the first dragon of the game either, so they are kind of losing the objective war right now. Once again, this is the first time that Team
Liquid... This could be a dive as well,
Yeah.
potentially. Okay, no, he's not going to stay around.
Okay. Well, as we said before, this is the first time that Team Liquid have had control of the top side of the map for Void Grubs. The first time this series, and even the last time they fought against each other in Week 6, FlyQuest were able to get that first rotation. The story has always been that the solo lanes for FlyQuest are dominating both APA and Impact respectively, but with all the shenanigans that happened in the first few minutes of the game, it now goes over to Team Liquid's control.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't really been the case. I think the Taliyah game from Jensen definitely dominated in game number 1, but Impact solo killed Bwipo in game number 2, solo killed him in game number 3 already, so it definitely has not been that level of consistency and dominance that we were expecting, I think.
And it's interesting, too, seeing APA go back to the Neeko. This was one of the early crutch champions that people identified for him. But then, of course, they focused so much on their Rell and Soul and the Ziggs. This Neeko was originally one of their best champions that they drafted because of all the playmaking he was able to get done. And because he was able to coordinate with Pioshik at the time was their jungler, but the plays that they were able to coordinate were the things that got Team Liquid into the top half of the standings.
Look how much time, though, Inspired has been spending here. He's already been sitting here for 30 or 45 seconds behind them, trying to look for that play. Every time they were going for those pink wards, he was hoping there was going to be Yeon that would step up. But Yeon has been playing so far back that they haven't been able to find the angle. And Inspired doesn't have flash, so he has to walk close enough. And this could be Bwipo potentially in trouble because Equalizer is available, Ignite is available. If he goes a little bit too far forward, then Umti could get him.
Still no flash for Bwipo either, but he backs off after he pushes out a majority of the wave. He's not going to be able to contest.
Inspired is still in bot lane. This is crazy. That's over a minute of just standing there, not farming a camp, not getting anything done.
It's horrible for him. It's horrible for FlyQuest. So much time wasted. Meanwhile, Umti does come check, but he goes right back to his jungle here. And then finally, now we're seeing Inspired go back to his Krugs. But the opposite side, jungle camping here, has been so beneficial for Team Liquid. And to the detriment of FlyQuest. Honestly, it is because Yeon has had such a big impact on this series, you have to feel like. And since the Varus had no flash, that was a prime target. But props to Team Liquid for their bottom lane, not going for the big engages, not leaving any openings here to get punished.
Yeah, just playing so smart around those missing summoners. Now the Ghost is back. The Flash will be back shortly. So that window is pretty much gone, and they weren't able to punish him whatsoever. And in the meantime, Umti had gotten 5 camps ahead. Plus was able to get grubs.
I gotta say, the more I watch this series, the more I'm like, man, Vulcan called it. And Vulcan has been kind of spot on. This TL bottom lane is looking good. I always love it when the bottom lane gets kills in 2v2s, but also when they play
Curse
safe.
him?
Yes.
CoreJJ still has Flash, but he gets charmed up.
Kobe, how could you?
Oh my God.
Team Liquid fans are out in force for Kobe, as Yeon is also going to get caught out as well. Damned if you talk about them, damned if you don't. And the
Steve is going to be outside your house with a pitchfork.
No comment.
Kobe,
But,
I'm telling you right
That
now,
was instant.
do
That was
not-
a double curse, too. You didn't even just curse one guy.
Kobe, do not check your DMs after this game.
Yeah, well,
Definitely not getting paid by Steve.
I will check my PayPal just to make sure the Papa Smithy donation came through.
Now, flash from Umti, it's answered back by Massu, but he gets the knock-up with the 3-talent strike, and Impact should be able to burn him down with the Flame Spitter. And it's a trade.
But that is also like pretty costly. Impact coming down, he has no teleport, right? It's the Flash Ignite Rumble, so he's
2
coming
plates
down to
on
the bottom
top.
side to make sure that they get the Dragon. It does mean Bwipo kind of gets back into the game on Renekton and gets some turret plates for himself. That being said, Impact also gets turret plates on bottom side, and they should be able to secure the Dragon as well.
Yeah, we'll see exactly what the fallout is. Yeon, at the very least, didn't use his Flash, neither did Core, so they kind of just accepted that they were going to go down, and they will have those summoners available. But APA, able to get that 1 plate on bot side, but it is 2 already gone. They've lost. No one has been getting even the experience from top side. So that's, I want to say 2.5, if not 3 waves of full experience and gold lost on top side. So yeah, they got some stuff back on bot side, but still, this is really good for Bwipo. And Impact did kind of hurt his game a little bit by going down there, I think.
And next question is going to be the Void Grub spawn number 2, because if you give a full 6 over to Team Liquid, it gets really scary. And Bwipo just got a lot of catch-up experience and gold for himself. Inspired's on that side as well. But support roam comes out first for Team Liquid. So CoreJJ's got the early vision, and it looks like they are going to...
Oh, the flash is just a solo kill. The ignite, he follows him afterwards, and Inspired was there, ready, but he just wasn't in range to help.
Impact is crushing Bwipo. Back-to-back games, 3 solo kills on him across 2 games. Doesn't even need the equalizer. Bwipo stayed around so long, he just got all that gold, hadn't even got back to base.
Oh, look at this, though. They're going to get some payment.
Yeah, Impact doesn't have flash, but CoreJJ is here. The Cataclysm locks him down. CoreJJ tries to answer back. No way, he lives! Team Liquid comes to the rescue and is able to trade one back on Inspired before Impact finally goes down to Bwipo. As, this is not good for Yeon. Was caught out by the 2v1. Busio and Massu lock up a Yeon.
This series is so fun. It has been so scrambled with all of the rotations over, everybody heading up to the top side, and Yeon comes through. His flash is now down again on the Varus, so they are for sure going to repeat, look for ganks there, and the action just continues.
Yeah, and after that, 6 grubs, all the TL now. So Umti cleans up the grubs off the back of that, but definitely not the start that Yeon would have wanted.
It's so fun because they're going for multiple plays at the same time. When you're like, oh, Team Liquid did the early rotation. They had first support roam, so they're just going to take the Void Grubs. No, they're going to solo kill while they take the Void Grubs and while they have 2 people mid and now bottom.
Equalizer lands on Massu. They know that he still doesn't have flash from the bottom lane skirmish. CoreJJ is charging up, but Bwipo was already here and prevents them from getting on top of Massu. Inspired commits his own EQ over the wall, and I don't think he has flash. I mean, he gave his life to make sure his AD carry got out, I guess.
The Ants go marching in one by one. A new challenger approaches, and in the end, Team Liquid do get the chase down on Inspired. And now Impact, Impact woke up all right. Now he's going to be able to push on bottom side here, and he's got CoreJJ hovering as well. So Bwipo's got to worry about dives. He's got to worry about 6 grubs here, going to allow Impact to get even more turret plates. APA is getting turret plates on top side. Impact doesn't actually get up to the turret on bottom side. He goes for the recall, so he doesn't milk the 6 Void Grubs for some turret plate money down there. but they're just collecting all over.
Yep, and Yeon, he had been moving down, cheating down towards bot side to see if he could get involved in the fight, but wasn't able to, so went back towards mid. No one was there, so that he got a plate mid. They actually denied a wave there as well. So TL, definitely coming out good from that play, but it is a dead even game here, pretty much 100 gold in lead for TL.
And we're going for another invade here. FlyQuest C1.
CoreJJ gets caught out first. Umti tries to rally around him for support. Yeon over the wall, trying to, whoa, Inspired flashes over the Chain of Corruptions with the Cataclysm, but is he stuck now? He's already committed the flash. He's dead, he's gone. Team Liquid now chasing the rest of Team FlyQuest out of the jungle.
Yeon flashes the Pepega Frog. He's like, I got a blast cone right here, buddy. Nice fancy moves. Blast cone trumps all.
I mean, it looks cool, flashing over the Chain of Corruption, throwing the ult down, but he didn't have any spells available. You're not going to solo this guy, and no one was in a position to follow up. So at the end of the day, uses his flash, dies for it, and gets nothing. And now TL looking for Bwipo.
Action continues on a Bwipo. No flash available. Pops the Dominus, the Equalizer. It's a great choke point. It forces them down towards the lane, but they get run down by Team Liquid. Another 2 kills to their side.
It's also funny. This is the quietest alt chat that we've had this whole series. The only thing that was typed was Impact at the beginning, said good luck, have fun.
I feel like the coaches gave him a talking to after that last one.
I mean, they probably just muted all their chats and made it for Q only, because that was it. Except for Impact, he has manners, so that like Impact, you can still type. Everybody else, no.
I do want to say, there's been a lot of action in this game, mostly on both solo lanes, but the mid laners have been relatively quiet apart from a couple of interferences. And Jensen and APA, we know that the regular season was really rough for AP on his side, whereas Jensen's probably had one of his best splits in recent memory. But APA has been doing better. He's been solid in this series so far. Even in the last week, he's probably had some of his best performances. There's still some moments where he's flubbing, but nowhere near as much as during the regular season.
Yeah, and Kobe touched on it earlier, but this pick here on the Neeko was one of his big picks when he first came into the team, and it was one of his big picks in playoffs in particular, where it wasn't about the lane for him, it was about the picks, it was about the team fights, and they're gonna look for Jensen.
Oh, he popped the Spirit Rush, but it was interrupted by the Magnet Storm, forced to flash away.
All right, that's going to be tower for sure for Team Liquid. They could probably go 2 objectives at once. Impact get bottom. It looks like they're going to rotate their bottom lane up to mid. Wow, it's an early rotation from FlyQuest up to top side. Try and push API off and at least answer objectives and get a turret for themselves as well.
APA respects it. That's going to give this tower over to FlyQuest's side. I mean, Inspired has been super proactive trying to make these plays work, but it has come a cost to his own income. Umti on the other side has been pathing efficiently. He's already at the first item spike for himself. So this is a stronger Zhao versus the Jarvan combat power right now.
Oh, okay. I thought he was going to steal that for sure.
Umti was trying to steal it, but they're bullying them all away from the Herald item itself. Cataclysm right on top of Umti and CoreJJ. Umti is trying to flash away towards the right side where the rest of Team Liquid is waiting. Here comes the APA Neeko special! This is what he made a name for himself last summer in the LCS when he debuted. Umti goes down as they trade one back onto Bwipo as Impact gets caught up by the charm a little too far, but he has the stasis and the rest of the reinforcements come through. CoreJJ with the cavalry! Oh, baby! Team Liquid are cooking FlyQuest!
Oh, and Impact lives in the end afterwards too. Able to use his invulnerability there on the chase. They're so aggressive. Umti, he goes in and he's able to bait the whole team in. He knows he has the security of his Xin ultimate, and the rest of his team, if you look at the minimap, are on the way. So FlyQuest start to retreat, and Umti doesn't want to let them get out. So even when the teleport comes in and CoreJJ follows with him, then he goes for his ult. He charges and flashes away, so he's not going to take damage. And here's the turn. APA comes right back in. He had his proto belt and got the big knockup.
Yeah, and it seemed like they lost track of APA in that fight. He walks in. Obviously, Yeon had already revealed himself with the Hail of Varus, so they should know which one is the real Varus. But finds that angle to be able to go for the proto belt, flash ulti, connects on multiple members, then Impact. He wants more because he had the early Seekers buy. Not common to see it bought up this early, but went for the early Seekers.
He's
able to make it happen.
Oh!
The live view of him typing.
He said, wow, the ego.
Oh my God.
I feel like both teams have a lot of ego in this game.
Oh yeah.
Definitely a lot. Jensen charging forward, looking for Yeon. Lands the charge.
Nice.
Yeon is cooked. Shutdown goes over to Jensen, and now the rest of Team Liquid have to play defensively. Magnet Storm trades back, but he still goes down as CoreJ falls to Jensen. Inspired almost goes out to the Equalizer. As Impact He's got nowhere else to run. Shutdown goes over to Massu, and FlyQuest are back in it.
Oh, that was really clean from Jensen. That Ahri just walked all over this fight. Charging forward, jumping past so he could get the charm onto Yeon, cleaning them up. That made it look way, way too easy.
I mean, there is just so much pressure that's going to be on Yeon in this game. We saw how the Nautilus ults alone were really able to pressure him and keep him out of a lot of fights in the last one, even with a really big lead. This time, it's Nautilus, it's Jarvan, it's Renekton, it's Ahri, it's everyone piling in on this low mobility AD. And he stepped up here. It's just a great hook there from Busio. Got a little bit aggressive, and then we see Jensen going forward, holding the charm to the perfect moment, connects on it. Inspired's able to follow it up, and they get the 500 gold shutdown there right onto Jensen.
And you can see, you know, the malignant stuff on the ground. He had 2 item power spike here on Ahri. That's really big in mid game. That plus the Horizon focus, so much damage. And he's able to run through with the rest of the team, picking them all up. And that was just after we had a big play on the opposite side.
Yeah.
This series continues to deliver. Teams with some pretty big comebacks here.
Yeah, it's been the story in every single game so far, where you think one team has the edge, and the other team swings right back with an uppercut.
And it's really key with the 2 carries on double item power spikes here for FlyQuest. You're like, wow, that is overwhelming. Despite the gold being almost dead even, when you have just single item and components across the board for both APA and Yeon, that's why you have a lot of priority there. They're going to push up mid. Busio.
I mean, Yeon is a sitting duck there, no flash available, easy cataclysm, but the counter engage from CoreJJ is massive. Yeon, does he survive the ignite? It's getting close, he falls, but the rest of the fight continues on as APA lands a Pop Blossom, gets caught out by the rest of FlyQuest. Bwipo slices him down. Umti and Impact holding their ground. It's a 3-on-2. In advantage for FlyQuest, the charm connects. No further damage will follow as Busio, they land the dredge line into the flat stun from Bwipo. Impact is taken off the rift, and Umti is trying to survive, trying to answer one on back. Oh, he finds Busio as he dredge lines a little too far, but it was for the greater good of FlyQuest.
Man, how many charms did Jensen hit in that fight? It just felt like charm after charm after charm. He went crazy in that one for FlyQuest as Yeon narrowly survived, and he started to think maybe TL could actually, win this fight, but he dies the last tick of the ignite, does fall down, and at the end of the day, not enough damage to carry him through the fight.
Oh my goodness. Such a fun one. Busio, I also have to say, on the Nautilus, really big. It was his ignite there. He put it on nice and late on the Varus, and then in the end, getting another hook. Now they're right back out on the reset, though. And CoreJJ's already got position. Now he wants to be the one to get a big engage for his team, but everybody is kind of straggling while coming out from base, so it gets a little dangerous.
And this is a really strong Massu again. We have to think back to game number 1, 11 kills on the Kalista, back-to-back quadra kills. This is a rookie player in his first ever playoff series, really stepping up here, performing at a very high level. And with this Kalista, again, there is a big threat onto the Baron. So you have to keep eyes on it from the TL side. And you can see the vision is starting to go more and more over towards FlyQuest. You look towards that top side of the map, it's all pink wards from FlyQuest, 4 of them up in that Baron area. No one's answering the top wave either from TL, as they're really starting to feel the pressure.
Yeah, and we also see how efficient it is for the top side of FlyQuest with triple Merc Treads, since it's double AP carries for Team Liquid, and they have a bunch of CC on their team. It was no-brainer for the full top side of Team Liquid, all investing in those, definitely paying off. Bwipo here with his extra vision, trying to get a little bit out of the Raptors, but has to run off.
And this is one of the costs of playing, this Ignite on the Rumble at this point in the game. You don't have that second TP. APA's TP is on cooldown, so no one is really comfortable to go out to the sides until we see FlyQuest moving around. Whereas on the other side, Jensen has a TP available, so he heads down towards bot lane early. He's going to push that out, and they're going to try to utilize this extra global that they do have to run TL around the map. Because if you can ever, as Jensen, make Impact respond to you, then you can look for a play on the other side of the map with the TP.
Yeah, because then you guarantee the 5v4 on the objective. So for Team Liquid, it's going to come down to how well their macro game is when they are permanently down an additional teleport spell.
Yeah, and I think TL just want to continue to always hard force on the Dragons, because their team is all about 5-on-5. It's all about this AoE Wombo combo. They have to have big plays from CoreJJ and APA, or else they're going to lose. and they have 2 dragons right now. That is their way to win the game still. Even though you're down a couple thousand gold here and Jensen is looking really scary on this Ahri, you have to stick with the game plan. You have to get some vision first so that CoreJJ and APA have good chances to get big engages off.
You talked about it. Massu, being on the Kalista, can now threaten this Baron. They're on the other side of the map.
It's theirs.
Yeah.
It's so smart because they know. TL's like, we have to dragon. If we stop dragon stacking, we're going to lose. So FlyQuest just give it to them and go for Baron instead.
Something is up, though, for Team Liquid. They know that there's a potential that they are burning down Baron while they get the dragon. Unfortunately for them, it's just a little too late. Clean take of the Baron by FlyQuest.
Smart.
No chance for an after-fight contest either.
Yeah, this is just really well done by FlyQuest. They're running them around the map. They're making them answer these side lanes. They know that they're going to go to the dragon, as you said, Kobe. And as they go to the dragon, they're already up there, 2-manning the Baron. And then once they realize, okay, it's too late for TL to respond, Jensen TP's up. They commit all their damage to bursting it down before TL can get there and potentially take a fight afterwards.
Plus, it plays right into that split push win con you guys were talking about now. With Baron buff, it makes it so much easier. Really, really quickly push out those side lanes.
And you got to say, for TL, if you're a team that's all-in on dragons, trying to go for that soul, this is the worst one to get. Chemtech is really not that good compared to a lot of the other souls, so definitely going to be unhappy about the luck that they have in this one.
Things starting to tense up here. No dragon for another 4 minutes. The Baron buff is still on FlyQuest's side. Bwipo is pushing on the bottom side of the map at the moment. And Inspire is just going to make sure that he can do it safely as they start to push this vision line deeper into the blue buff quadrant.
Yeah, I think 4-1 is definitely the way to go. No unnecessary risk sending anybody topside. Bwipo's the only one with a teleport here for FlyQuest. It is unleashed. He can pretty safely push up as long as he doesn't get too close there. So they're going to be able to take over the jungle. You see 2 possible wards here for later teleport plays placed by FlyQuest in the blue quadrant of Team Liquid's jungle. Remember, the only real big drawback to giving over that dragon so you can get Baron is there's a little bit of a scary factor about Dragon Soul later on. As you said, it's just a Chem Tech Drake though, and you're gonna have vision control, plus you should have item advantage as well when that fight comes around.
Still chilling on the side of Team Liquid as they are just trying to wait out the Baron buff from the side of FlyQuest.
I think this is smart itemization here from Busio. A little bit less typical for a tank support to go towards Mikhail's, but you have to think about when you're in control like this, how do you lose the game? You lose off picks, you lose off a Neeko route, you lose off of a Chains of Corruption. Being able to have that Mikhail's plus the Locket, keep your carries alive here. If you can keep Massu safe, he has his cleanse plus Mikhail's now on top, it's going to be so hard to kill that guy.
Keep Jensen at 0 deaths as well. I like that scoreline. That's looking too good.
Yeah, I mean, he has the biggest shutdown right now, and I imagine that he is the one that is trying to play the most safe with his advantage. He definitely deals out a lot of damage, and he has the most opportunities for strong picks and following up with Inspired and Busio, but that he is also painting himself a big target for Team Liquid.
Biggest thing here now in comms too is everyone just talking through how are we going to lead up to this dragon fight and what are we going to execute on. FlyQuest, you got to have point people taking visual confirmation. Where is APA? Where is CoreJJ? Your lose condition is an AoE wombo, so as long as you don't group up and give them a really good brush to engage on you out of, that's out of vision, then you should have a pretty good time stopping that dragon stacking. Also, you don't want to, throw anything to the randomness of smite fights. And even if you have rend, we have seen many people smite steal through the rend combo.
While we have some downtime here, I want to talk about Jensen's playoff experience here, because in that second game, definitely seemed like APA was getting in his head, but he's bounced back. Really solid scoreline for himself. As we see, APA is going to get dove under tower here. 2-man from Bwipo and Busio. The Pop Blossom doesn't do that much damage, but the tower aggro might. But Busio walks out of range, and the dive is executed cleanly.
Now, even with APA juking them out with the clone, actually made Bwipo use his spells onto that clone. They're still able to get the kill there. And you have to also look over at the carries itemization, right? You want to be playing for this soul right now, but it's 3 items for Jensen. It's 3 items for Massu. It's 3 items for Bwipo. And only impact on the TL side has actually hit that bench benchmark. Plus now you have APA without ulti. I'm not sure if it's going to be up in time. It'll be close on that soul spawn. But TL are going to have a really tough time, I think, fighting for this.
I think that was also just a really smart call from FlyQuest because TL, everybody else was reset for the entire team. And so APA is the only one there. And they feel confident to go for it.
There's no one to answer him because APA is dead. Impact can't be up there because he has no TP. So FlyQuest are kind of just running them around the map. You know, they've weathered the storm here early on. Impact is also falling very far behind as far as experience, as far as farm, because he has to group with the team since he has no TP. Even with 9 kills, he's not actually that strong compared to what Bwipo is now.
Yeah, FlyQuest have stopped taking the flips in terms of getting Team Liquid a potential advantage back in this game and just playing the map with the guaranteed teleport advantage that they always have. APA is waiting for a flank. Teleport comes in early from Jensen, trying to cut them off on the right side, and that's going to force APA's teleport as well. Turns into a minion, sees if he can scout, finds Jensen towards the bottom side of the map, and the dragon has been started up.
Okay, so they saw APA try and wrap around.
They just burned this down. I mean, Inspired is nowhere near in range. 2,000 HP. He tries to EQ in. What? Massu stole it! I don't know how he stole it. The Pop Blossom comes in. They're going to try to land it on Busio, but the Fate's Call keeps Busio alive. Impact finds Busio in the back, but Jensen is trying to look for an angle to try and hit them back. Yeon flashes through the hole, finds Massu in the back. Team Liquid grouping around Yeon. He can still carry them through this fight, but Bwipo, Inspired, and Jensen still stand. I don't know how Massu stole that dragon as Inspired presses the charge, looking for Umti. He's gonna charge away. I need to see a replay.
I think it was a Q. I think he just threw the Q in right as it was going down.
It must have been.
And is able to take it away. That is enormous, being able to steal this away.
Oh, he has, look at all those spears. He has a lot of spears in it too.
Oh, yeah, he does a lot of spears.
He has a lot of spears in it.
It was just a rend. Let's see how low it actually gets. Down to 2K. When does the smite get used?
Oh, no. 140 left.
Smite. Ah, that's rough.
I mean, whenever there's that many spears in it, it puts a lot of pressure on you.
It's hard.
So then you're trying to go early because you don't know. You want to be able to beat it still, but
yeah, that's rough.
It's hugely huge cost right there.
Damn. I mean, that is potentially series defining, right? It's one of those things where it's like, hey, if they got sold, do they win this game? Does that change the total outcome? Because now you're 6K down. You may not have a better chance than that to actually get the soul, right? Because the gold lead is getting worse. Now FlyQuest have more time to play the map to be able to build these incremental advantages that they've been doing such a good job of getting.
Comboing with smite is hard. We've seen so many failed smite combos, whether it's with Rend or now against the Rend.
Yeah.
In the LCS games here, and now FlyQuest gonna run it back on Baron.
Really nice chunk from Jensen on the CoreJJ. 50% of his HP is gone. Charm lands once again on the Umti. It forces his ulti out.
And Jensen is smurfing. This is actually crazy. He is just hitting every charm this game. It feels like it's point click. He's level 17.
Whoa, wait, the blast cone just puns Bwipo right back into APA. He's forced to use the pop blocks, so it doesn't even go off. Jensen assassinates him. It's a 5-on-4 against Team Liquid. Inspired can go for the guaranteed Cataclysm on the off, but he's firing. Can Bwipo put him down at the ground? Yes, he does. FlyQuest take this fight with such clean execution. Team Liquid are gone.
Man, this is some of the best games I can remember from Jensen in his career. Like, he is just so dominant in this series. Talia game 1, Ahri game 3, deathless on it, hitting every single charm, playing the side lane perfectly, crushing TL.
After a second game defiant victory from Team Liquid, it is Jensen that corrals the team with a bounce back score, 6-0-15 on the Ahri, being able to show that the playoff experience is coming through. Wait, Busio died to the Nexus turret, but FlyQuest should be able to still finish off the game. FlyQuest move to match point.
What a fun series. Unfortunately, there's no typing after. I was looking the whole time. I was like, let me look at the all chat. Is he gonna say anything? Is he gonna say anything? Nope. Looks like Jensen has left the all chat game. And he's gonna let his play speak for itself.
And it did. It spoke volumes about the class of this player. Absolutely incredible performance on the Ahri. Definitely the best game of Ahri from anyone in the LCS this year. Easily, I think. This guy was just so on point, really playing well. And the game did